Welcome to the Jax Life Channel. Transmitting on YouTube on the Jax Life Channel, we broadcast from a studio located on the west side of Jacksonville, Florida. This channel is a member of the Left Turn Network. I'm George Farrar, and in January 2011, I founded the Left Turn Media Network. Today, Wednesday, April 17, 2013, I'm proud to welcome you to the first sign-on of the second YouTube channel on the network. The Jax Life Channel will be a progressive and alternative public affairs channel for the people of Jacksonville. We will cover the politics, history, culture, and issues of the city of Jacksonville and North Florida. We will aim to provide the best in news coverage and commentary in a way that you've never seen before. We now begin our programming schedule with Jacksonville, the movie.
We'll get some lunch when we go home, but we're going to get going home. Yeah,
This is the Fuller Warren Bridge, Interstate 95 going through Jacksonville. The original bridge was a draw span bridge built in the 50s. And on the interstate you would have to stop if a boat needed to go through and the span would lift. Now of course this is an overpass bridge. we are at Ocean and Forsyth, on the way to Main Street. And in the early 1980s, this was the Jacksonville Public Library, the main branch, the Hayden Burns Library, named after Mayor and Governor Hayden Burns. And you know, I guess if there's one building that one can talk about that played a big role in who I am today, it's the Hayden Burns Library. Now, of course, with the new Central Library, the main branch down at Hemming Plaza, we see, of course, the fences and the slow decay of the old library. Why is this library so important? Well, you know, I'm a big reader. There are books that I just can't put down. And the love for reading started within this building. An amazing, amazing library. And you know, for a child coming downtown, and even today it sometimes seems like a bigger than life experience to come down here and look back at the past. You know, once the library closed, the new library opened, of course there was the usual talk about refurbishment, a lot of ideas, but today there is a for lease sign on it, and it sits abandoned, barely maintained, yet for generations of children, this is a very special place. And one hopes that in time the economy will improve. In time, people will not let this go away. But we don't know. You know, here we are now at the corner of Ocean and Adams. Had a great time one night last year at the Borough Bar, here at the corner of Ocean and Adams. And I'm going to walk right now over to the Hayden Burns Library in just a moment, and we'll take a look at the plaque. But as you can see, it's hard for me because I look at it like, you know, I look at it like I grew up and I see something that's so amazing and so beautiful, yet once again, like it seems like a lot of things in my life, it's just being allowed to decay. And when I say my life, I mean the surroundings around me sometimes. Alright, so we will now get a view of the plaque here, or the inscription, built in 1965. 2 or 3 years before the city and county government consolidated. Mayor Commissioner at the time was Lou Ritter, and our city was under a city commission form of government and a council. There was a lot of duplication, and there was a lot of building in the early 1960s, but there was also a lot of problems. And so all of these people's names are inscribed on this abandoned building that once was a library. And one can only hope that something is done with it, that truly this place can come alive again. And if you notice the little graffiti here, it looks like, "Where are the books?" And, you know, the books are down at Hemming Plaza. And, you know, I don't know. Could this building have been renovated? Maybe the politicians didn't want to spend the cost. Could the city do something with this? I don't know. Personally, I think what would be great, a great marketing aspect, and I think one of the ideas that had been talked about was simply for this to be some sort of nightclub area. Here you are, you're right across from the Borough Bar, and if you take a look, actually, the really old Jacksonville Public Library that, as far as I know, at least in the time that I knew it, was a law firm, will walk over there as well. But this would make a perfect nightclub. I really think so. Multi-floor, right at a good corner, plenty of metered spaces, and right across from the bar. And Interesting thing about this is the Jacksonville Central Fire Station. And I went on a field trip one day that combined the Hayden Burns Library, walking across the street, of course, single file in line, being directed by the teacher on the field trip to go inside and experience what was the fire station like. So, you know, I guess on this corner a lot of my life began to come together as I grew up. And let's go even further back in time, because we seem to be able to do it here. And let's look at the old Jacksonville Public Library. Certainly the Hayden Burns is much bigger, and certainly our main library now is even bigger. But this seemed to do the job in the early to mid 20th century up until the 1960s, when the library needed to grow. It's called the TheJaxLeft Building, and we still have the inscription, "Open to all." Beautiful. All right. I want to thank you for watching today. Maybe this was more of partly an autobiography, a paragraph in an autobiography of my life. So much has happened in my life, but it's important that we as a community and as a city, as a county, I guess you could say, a city-county, can come together and provide the most valuable experiences for the youth so that they can be able to thrive and prosper and build and inspire and entertain and feel and love and pass down the great knowledge to the later generations. The Union Terminal, the Jacksonville Terminal, and I'd like to talk about Union Terminal and the history and what this beautiful building means to me, and I think to the people of Jacksonville. One of the first memories that I have of Jacksonville is this railway station that no longer serves as a railway station, but is now our convention center. I remember the Union Station before it was converted into being a convention center. When it was abandoned, I would look out as a child from the car on the interstate on the other side. I am here on the east side, really the most beautiful side, because the other side, of course, was modified for the convention center. And we'll talk about the building and the history, and we'll talk some more. All right. As you can see, inscribed on the building, it's Jacksonville Terminal. And this building is modeled after the original Penn Station in New York City that was torn down in 1963. And that station was modeled after the baths of Calcutta, I believe. I'll correct that. So, this railway station was built in 1919 and served as Jacksonville's railway station from 1919 until January the 3rd, 1974. Now, if you want a train, you have to go to the Amtrak station out on Clifford Lane. So, as you can see, you have the sun pouring through the windows of the Great Hall, and what a beautiful reminder, I guess, of when buildings were built to last, and just the majesty of this building is something to behold. You can see, of course, where you would have had the drop-off pickup areas, and where people, I'm sure, dropped off their luggage. And of course, now it's the convention center. It's the prime F. Osborne III Convention Center, named after a major businessman here in Jacksonville. And in front of us, Lee Street, and of course, the familiar Jacksonville skyline. And for your Federal Reserve banking convenience, there's the Federal Reserve right across the street. And of course, the automated Skyway Express extending past. There's talk about bringing rail back here. The railway station function could return to this very landmark. And wouldn't that be amazing? There's talk. Of course, there's always talk here in Jacksonville. I'd like to see more doing. I'd like to see a lot more doing. I don't know. I just think we need to evolve past the concept of the convention center, bring Amtrak here, and can you imagine what that could do for downtown and for Jacksonville, the convenience of easy on and easy off at Interstate 95 and coming in off downtown. And of course, linking with the Skyway Express and the possibility of bringing the bus station to where you have a multimodal transportation. And then of course, you can even connect in right off Riverside Avenue through taking the Lee Street ramp here. So, and actually cutting over and down, you can actually cut down to Riverside. So there's all sorts of different ways you can get to and from here. So certainly this is a very convenient location, and I say let's bring Amtrak to downtown. Let's bring Jacksonville's roots, the heritage, and revitalize something that is so grand and so monumental. And so I say, let's make this Jacksonville Union Terminal. Let's make it Jacksonville Terminal again. And so let's bring back the trains, and let's give people a chance to see Jacksonville and arrive in style off an Amtrak train here to downtown. So a lot of different opportunities that I'm presenting here on our special History Jacksonville series, because we can bring history back. We can bring back what was convenient, what was great, certainly with rail travel, certainly with what we're doing here. You know, we want to bring business, we want to bring convenience, and certainly I think we can do that. Hi everyone, welcome to The Left Turn and a special continuing series, History Jacksonville. And here I am at Liberty and Bay Street. And for many, many years, justice was served right from this very building, the old now, Duval County Courthouse. Across the street is our current police station and jail. Quite a convenient walk for a lawyer, for a prisoner, for a police officer. Since the late 50s, the Duval County Courthouse is now abandoned, replaced by our new Duval County Courthouse on Monroe Street, west of here. We're going to walk down Bay Street and we're going to talk about Duval County's history in two buildings. The old Duval County Courthouse here, as well as the old City Hall, which is now the Courthouse Annex, which is, I believe, the home of the State Attorney's Office until provisions are made for a move closer to the new courthouse. As you can see, a very modern building, one of those prototypical modern 1950s, 1960s style buildings. The interesting thing about this building is despite the modernity, despite this being such a building that you can relate to as a hall of justice and as a modern symbol of the new frontier, essentially, the early 60s of Jacksonville, even before consolidation, the beginning of the revitalization of the riverfront, through at the time the building of governmental buildings, facilities, serve the people, to serve the oppressed, and not only that, to guarantee justice. This very building had segregated bathrooms. I remember one of the rare times I've been inside this building for clerical matters, for matters of property and other issues that have nothing to do with the judge. I can certainly say that I was shocked when I found out about it in the 1990s, which goes to show sometimes we operate under a facade, but this building certainly has done a lot for justice, for a lot for the people of Duval County, and now, as with many buildings where planning was haphazard and tenants not secured, this building is abandoned. That's why I'm doing History Jacksonville. I want to capture the moments as we change, as we move along to something different. It's July 2012, and of course it's very hot. And here I am on Bay Street. We can certainly see that everyone has left. No more judges, no more lawyers, no more motions, no more pleas, no more pleading to the bureaucrats for that piece of paper that stands between you and what you want to accomplish. And I know that I've scrambled around in quite a level of ignorance inside this building to get what I was entitled to, but that I alone had to find out how to get it. And isn't that the way it is? Okay, we go ahead and proceed down Bay Street, and we'll talk about the old City Hall.
going? Over here.
No, I'm doing it wrong.